I am a friend. Oh, I guess we're in. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are into the first game, probably only game, of the night. Blue team versus purple team. I was not given any team names. I kind of just jumped straight into it. However, if you are on the team and want to jump in the chat and let me know team names, that would be awesome. But looks like Caitlyn is the first ban of the evening by Aletta Ocean. Banning out Caitlyn, very strong ADC. Also, some of these players are probably going to be banning against other players on the enemy team since they more than likely know each other. So it could be a specific ban against somebody who is strong with Caitlyn on the enemy team. Vayne banned out by a purple team, not interested in having that ADC either. Looks like it might be a war of the ADCs as we have strong players on both sides that are apparently really good running the ADC route. South versus Pond Mills. So is Pond Mills blue at the moment? Just update me on that. That would be great. xMagt sending me a message as well. He is on blue team, so we should get at least to know. Aletta Ocean versus, well, no, I'm not sure which team to go with. But anyway, running back through here, blue team Draven and Lucian being banned out as well, banning out a lot of these ADCs, and then purple team banning out Lee Sin in the jungle. Not interested in the very strong champion with that mobility, being able to jump around and do a lot of damage. I kind of like xMagt's team names. Those team names are pretty legit. Aletta Ocean versus the Shafika. I do have to run in here real fast and get some music going because we do not have that. The league music's pretty cool to listen to. Let me do some things real fast because you guys kind of jumped. I wasn't really ready, but I was live, so I guess that's all right. We did have a final ban out LeBlanc by purple team, and so that will finish off all of the bans between the two teams, as blue team is kind of running over a couple different champions, not really sure which one they're interested in picking up just yet. Aletta Ocean may be locking in this Lux at the last second, ran over and picked Lux for the mid lane. Very strong champion, well, could be going support, but as Ignite stands at the moment, more than likely going to be running in that mid lane Lux. Very strong ultimate, high range as well as damage, and the cooldown allows it to come back a lot of times. Mafiky on the Blitzcrank. He does have this smite. I don't know if it's going to be a Blitz jungle. No, he switched over, there we go, to a support. But these players are playing draft mode, so they could be trading between each other. New recruits picking up the Ahri for the mid lane. Very strong champion, especially with that charm and then the multiple dashes on that ultimate is going to allow her to be able to get in and out of team fights. Patchinator picking up once again his favorite champion, that Thresh, for the support, and then the BulimicWhale on the Kah'Zix in the jungle. Kah'Zix a very strong champion if they can get off that snowballing. Once a Kah'Zix starts off a bad game, it's really hard to get back into it, so hopefully he can manage that. We got some dubstep music now coming in here. That's what we like to hear. The sexy ladies. Ooh. No. So we got our music going. We got a new channel update. I am called That Shoutcast Guy on YouTube. Look me up. It's very easy to remember. You're just That Shoutcast Guy. But we are now back to the game as Vulnova on the Riven in that top lane, and then VVeasel picking up that Twitch in the bottom lane ADC. Appropriate character for appropriate name. Alright, xMagt picking up one of his favorite champions, Kayle, in the top lane. Going to be going against this Riven, so it'll be interesting to see how these two line up against each other. And then Sleeepy taking his time figuring out which champion he wanted to pick up for, I believe he is the bottom lane ADC. There we go, a lot of different ADC options, and a lot of them were banned out as well, so you got to figure out which one you want to go for. But we'll be running, it looks like, the Ashe in the bottom lane. Very good champion with a lot of auto attack damage, and then her ultimate is extremely strong, of course, with that long range stun. It's an interesting composition picked by blue team. Not really a tanky team, but they might have the ability. They have a lot of damage, burst damage, especially with that Lux and Kah'Zix. But they don't really have any tanky, so they're gonna have to rely very heavily on that Lux shield as well as the Kayle ultimate to be able to protect their champions. And then aScafe picking up the oh my gosh, I haven't seen him in so long. I'm Scarner, I apologize. Scarner in the jungle, very strong champion with that ultimate being able to pull people towards his team and dominate. Purple team having a very interesting composition. They have that Blitzcrank pull as well as the option to just do a lot of damage from a bit of a distance. So we do have the 3 minutes before the actual game is underway. So welcome everybody to the stream. Before you leave, do know that you can actually find these games on both Twitch and in a day or two YouTube. You can either just wait until the stream is done tonight and then jump on and watch it at Twitch. You do not have to watch it while playing the game, as I know that it sometimes lags, but if you're interested, throw it on Facebook, let some friends know that you are in a shoutcasted game of League of Legends, and how fancy schmancy is that? So it's pretty cool. Welcome everybody to the chat that is involved at the moment. So we're going to run through everybody, their characters and their character names, and that way it gets a little bit refreshed here. xMagt did state Aletta Ocean and the Shafika Team. Those are the team names, so I'm going to try to remember those, though forgive me if I don't, as they're a little bit weird. But for Aletta Ocean team, Aletta Ocean on the Lux in the mid lane, Patchinator with his favorite support Thresh in the bottom lane, the BulimicWhale jungle Kah'Zix, Sleeepy with the ADC, and Ashe ADC, and xMagt picking up Kayle for that top lane. Mafiky in the bottom lane ADC is Twitch, new recruits Ahri in the mid lane, Volnova on the Riven in that top lane, VVeasel on the Blitzcrank with those pulls, and aScafe in the jungle as Scarner. Very strong picks back and forth across the board. Very excited to see Patchinator on that Thresh pick once again. I know that he's really good with that. But of course, we have some pulls on Purple Team as well, with VVeasel on the Blitzcrank. And then of course, Riven is a fun champion to watch because of all of her bouncing back and forth. So we'll see if she can match against xMagt's very powerful Kayle in the top lane. Kayle did take teleport, so she will be able to roam the map a little bit stronger. But Riven's pretty quick to follow with that movement speed given to her by all of those jumps. So I'm going to toss it out for the team prediction. I always predict which team will win, who gets a triple kill, and who is first blood. So as the team goes, I'm going to give it over to blue team. Very excited to see what Aletta Ocean is going to be able to pull with that Lux in the mid lane, as well as if BulimicWhale gets off his Kah'Zix snowballing, that game is going to go in their hand. Triple kill is going to be tossed to Twitch, just because Twitch is extremely strong and very versatile at finding a location for his ability, or for a lot of damage while staying outside of getting hurt himself. And then who gets first blood? I'm going to give it to Riven. Riven is a very strong early lane champion. Going to be doing a lot of damage. And a goldfish, no, this is not actually in London. This is in America, because Americans is how we do. If you join a full custom game, this is Shoutcasting Custom Games. I was actually requested to shoutcast this one tonight. So if you have a full team of 10 and are interested in doing this, hit me up either through the Twitch or League of Legends. My League of Legends name is Jake Space Kelton, so you can look me up and find me on League of Legends and message me and say, hey, can we do a shoutcasting custom game this weekend or something? And if I have it in my time, I'd love to do that. So it'd be a lot of fun. Oh. Well, it appears that a lot of the players are in London, and that's where they're going to be based out of. So it'd be interesting to see how their ping is with me shoutcasting from the Americas. But it shouldn't be a problem, especially if they're all playing with each other. But I guess that means that they're playing on the NA server. Huh. Didn't even think about that. But alright, so as everyone knows, skins are wins, if this is how it is in League of Legends. So the more skins you have, the more likely your team is to win. And we currently have 2 skins for blue team. The beautiful Imperial Lux skin, don't get to see her too often. And then Sherwood Forest Ashe, another skin that you don't see that often. But they are against a couple skins, only one skin on purple team, that Firefox Ahri. Beautiful skin, have that one myself. So, as it looks according to skins, blue team is still pretty favored on the skin war to win the game, as well as they have my prediction behind them. But I love it when a game turns it around. Purple team, feel free to prove me wrong and show me that you are the better team in this game. the Shafika Team is, I believe, what the team name was stated by xMagt, so it'll be fun to see. Team Blue is Aletta Ocean versus Purple Team, which is the Shafika Team. So we'll see if I can remember those in the game. Looks like we do have a couple members. Patchinator is still a little bit slow to jump into the game, as well as Kayle, so I'm going to run through a couple different possibilities here. With that Lux in the mid lane versus Ahri, it is all about mobility, as you're going to have to be able to dodge charms as well as dodge those snares. Lux is extremely powerful. I've actually seen Aletta Ocean. He's played on a different name before with that Lux, and he is very good about hitting all of those snares with that Q. And a game can fully change with a single Blitzcrank grab, so it'll be very interesting to see if Purple Team, even if they get down, can pull off a really nice grab and grab either the Lux or Ashe, and if they can nuke them down instantly, it's very good for them. Kah'Zix is also a very bad champion for Blue Team if he gets grabbed, because he is pretty squishy. He does have the leap, however, if he tries to use it to get away, and Blitzcrank has a much faster cooldown on his pull than Kah'Zix leap, and so he may be able to pull Kah'Zix right back into the fight and keep him there. They do also have the Scarner grab, and so it could be a really unfortunate fight for Blue Team if Scarner ults somebody, pulls him in range of the Blitzcrank, who then pulls him even further back underneath the tower. That kind of wombo combo damage could be really bad, and it could all, of course, be started by a nice Ahri charm, keeping that person held in place while Scarner then gets off his ultimate. Of course, if Kayle is the one that was not ulted or grabbed, she does have the option of throwing her ultimate down and keeping that player safe for Blue Team, but only for a couple of seconds. I think they actually nerfed the length of Kayle's ultimate, so you can do it more often, but it does not last as long. So you're only going to have a couple of seconds to be able to keep your ally alive. And we are in game, so I'm going to go ahead and throw some of the champions in their correct positions. We have in the top lane, it's going to be Riven against the Kayle. And then, of course, in the next, we've got the jungles, with that jungle Scarner versus Kah'Zix, followed by the mid laners as Ahri and Lux, and then in the bottom lane we have the ADCs, Twitch and Ashe, followed by Blitzcrank and Thresh on the supports. Good luck, have fun to all the players in Team Ocean, or Team Aletta Ocean versus the Shafika Team. Pond Mill sucks. OP. So we are now back into the game as both teams start to take their positions. It looks like it's a pretty normal start here for a lot of the team members. It looks like Ahri has not fully loaded for Purple Team, which is pretty unfortunate. I don't think that you can pause it unless it is in a tournament draft, and this is just draft mode. There we go. Ahri is into the game fully. I don't know if she was just slightly AFK or not, but it looks like a lot of Dorans start here. Oh, aScafe coming. Oh, there he is on Purple Team. So he was just coming to say hi to his own teammates. I thought for a second that was Blue Team trying to invade. A couple wards have been placed down here. Purple did go ahead and actually ward red buff. Lux does know, though, that there are Purple Team members in there. She went ahead and put down the light burst just to see what'll happen. Patchinator might be able to throw the hook. There we go. It does land on Mafiky. Now he's going to be able to jump in. The flash is out from Mafiky, though. He was able to make it over the wall. A couple auto attacks by Ashe going on to VVeasel. However, Mafiky is going to be able to get away from that as Purple Team decides to back off from that fight, not wanting too much to do with that, especially with a nice grab by Patchinator and a quick early burn of that flash on Twitch. Scarner actually going to go ahead and start on his red buff up there. Riven going to go and help out with that, while Blue Team's going to leash that red buff for their team. So flash burn, but not too much in that bottom lane by that red buff. I do believe the audio is still pretty high for the game, so I'm going to actually, sorry about that, I'm going to switch over here and actually drop the audio for League down a little bit, as it is pretty high up there. There we go. Once it loaded in and actually readjusted and jumped back up to full max volume, which is not what we want. A lot of damage now going back and forth between new recruits and Aletta Ocean. New recruits getting a little bit of the heavier beating there in the mid lane, but getting some nice damage onto that Lux. xMagt in that top lane getting a little bit of damage as well by the Riven, who's just going to be bouncing in and out. Riven did start with a Doran's shield, so she's going to have a good bit of health up there in the top lane, but she's not going to have the damage, at least for the early part of the game. aScafe actually trying to grab Kah'Zix blue. He did actually grab it, so he did, I think, he managed it and had the flash over the wall. He has blue buff, so now he's trying to escape from Kah'Zix. This could be bad if Aletta Ocean's able. There we go, a nice snare is going to grab them both, and an auto attack is going to give her first blood, as well as a double kill on the Ahri, as Ahri attempts to flash out of that. Beautiful, beautiful job, and that means the Lux does have double buff. However, in the bottom lane, Patchinator is going to have to flash out from under the tower, but it's not going to be enough, as the tower is there for the damage, and it's going to be able to get off a nice kill on him. Got a little too close to the tower with that Blitzcrank hook, pulling them in, but that is the first kill for purple team versus 2 kills on blue team. So blue team slightly in the lead here, especially with that Lux double kill in the mid lane. She actually stuck around to finish farming before going ahead and backing. Purple team is pinging her, but she's going to be able to back before blue team gets there. A little bit of damage done on Twitch by that volley from Sleeepy, who's just trying to play it safe and keep her farm up. Now 14 farm to the 10 of Twitch. Lux did finish backing and grabbed herself a nice fiendish codex, as well as a bunch of wards and pots, so she's going to be doing pretty well in the mid lane, as Ahri is still sitting on that single Dorans and health pots. In the bottom lane, Thresh did go ahead and back. I think he just grabbed some potions though, as he didn't have a whole lot of gold for himself. Blitzcrank is sitting pretty with that ward and Fairy Charm. However, eventually he's going to need to back from that. Nice grab onto Sleeepy, and the knockup is there. Patchinator trying to do his flay to keep purple team away, but damage is there from purple team. There goes the heal by Sleeepy, trying to keep her alive, as she does flash out of it. The hook by Patchinator actually stopped VVeasel from doing a whole lot. However, with Patchinator now turning it around, doing a lot of damage onto Mafiky. Mafiky going ahead and using a pot to try to heal up. He is backing in the bush. If Patchinator gets off a nice hook, this could spell doom for him, and Sleeepy is using a health pot. There's the hook, but it actually doesn't land. Twitch having just walking away from that, doing a nice job of staying there while backing. Sometimes it can be really bad to shop right in the middle of a fight zone. Nova in that top lane against xMagt. He's doing his best, but it's still pretty low health up there. Has actually picked up a lot of farm for herself up there. 23 to the 17 on Kayle, but is going to have a little bit of a struggle as Kayle continues to get more and more powerful, both up to level 5. Kayle might be in trouble, though, as Scarner is making his way up there pretty quickly. Now, fight's going to break out here, but we can't see it at the moment because we're still focused on the farming in the mid lane. I guess it's because Kayle just walked away from that up there, was able to use a heal on herself and get out of that before our fight could even break out. Nova is pretty low health, though, so she's going to... Nope, she's actually not going to back. I apologize. She considered backing and said, no, I'm good. Aletta Ocean now level 6 in the mid lane, while Ahri is still sitting at a pretty low 4, and that's going to be really bad for purple team. 2 wards, I think that's the ward and token, or trinket, by Lux right there, keeping good vision on that top. She actually flashed over the minions to try to get that snare off, but it did not land. Neither did her ultimate, but she did enough damage combined with the leap by Kah'Zix, and that's going to be another kill on new recruits for blue team. Now 3-1 in this game. aScafe finishing off the Wolves, trying to keep his farm up. He is a little bit ahead of Kah'Zix, and XP-wise is going to be a little bit ahead because of that blue buff steal. However, getting himself killed once doesn't help him out. Kah'Zix has already finished off the beginning of any jungler's favorite item with that Spirit Stone, and Scarner is still sitting with the machete. Not going to have a whole lot. Twitch did back and grab himself a Vamp Scepter, so he's going to have nice lifesteal trying to keep this farm up. However, Ashe is stuck around for a really long time. Now 41 farm to the Twitch 26. She may be going for a BF sword first back. She is up to about 1,400. Yeah, she is sticking around, so maybe trying to get that BF sword as her first back. Aletta Ocean for the win! Jake Kilton numero uno. Thank you all for the new people. We're actually up to about 21 viewers, which is pretty crazy considering what I normally have, but thank you all for coming and joining us. Nova going in, trying to do a lot of damage onto xMagt up here. Going to be hitting her a bunch. However, xMagt is kind of trying to turn around and get some damage back. Both now about half health. as that blue ward is up there, so Kayle is going to know if Scarner tries to come up. A nice charm onto Aletta Ocean, who's going to miss her snare, and that's going to do get a lot of damage onto her by Ahri, who is still level 5 and does not have her ultimate just yet. However, we'll be getting it soon, so we'll see if she can use that. Lux does have her ultimate up for the mid lane. Yeah, she's not used it yet, so we'll see when she decides to use it on the Ahri if she tries to harass her down. The hook coming out there from Blitzcrank is not going to land. VVeasel has landed a number of hooks so far, doing a really good job with that, but that hook did not land. Patchinator grabbing a little bit of a soul. I'm not sure if it was worth the poison by Twitch. Twitch did not follow up, though, on that, so that's alright. You do see Kah'Zix now making his way. A nice stun by Ashe over the wall. The flay from Patchinator did not land. However, the flash is out from Kah'Zix, doing a lot of damage on the Mafiky. Tried to auto-attack down, but he is turned invisible, so now he might be able to get out of that. A lot of damage down to VVeasel as everyone just turned onto him. BulimicWhale really wanted to jump in onto the Twitch and finish him off. However, he was a little bit afraid of doing that. Looks like Twitch will back off from this. Mafiky deciding he did not want to stick around against all that farm. Kah'Zix sensing this is going to back off himself from that bottom lane. Nice gank by Ashe, starting that off with that ultimate. And then Kah'Zix following up over the wall. And that top lane, the farm war continues. Kayle has not backed yet, so she's going to be suffering a little bit, sitting on only that Doran's ring. However, Riven now about 10 farm up on the Kayle with that double longsword and boots. Going to have that movement speed to be able to get in and out of fights. Kah'Zix, what the fuck, man? xMagt continuing just to try to farm in that top lane. Now about half health as Nova goes in. I don't know if she's going to go all in or not. She gets the stun down. xMagt healing and walking away from that. Decided maybe not to fight it. Going ahead and throwing out that assist me ping. And is going to be backing off for the first time. And so it's a lot of gold. I'm sorry, I totally missed the hit the wall with the camera instead of moved. Sitting on about 1,600 gold. She's going to be able to buy a lot of pretty stuff. There's a hook by VVeasel, though, onto Sleeepy. Actually went ahead and burned Flash to get out of that fight. A lot of damage now turned onto Mafiky. Got him down to about half health with those all crit strikes that she had built up. So you're going to be doing a lot of damage. There's the ultimate by Lux. Will it be enough with that ignite? The health potion is out, as actually Ahri used her ultimate to be able to dodge Lux's. And now she's used the second one. She does have one more. She might use it just to try to avoid some of the auto attacks there by Lux. Lux does have blue buffs, is going to be able to spam a lot of her spells and maybe be able to get this tower down before Ahri can do a whole lot to get back. Breaking down pretty low health, throwing out that Q. Going to be doing a little bit of damage onto Aletta Ocean, asking in for that Scarner. However, Scarner and BulimicWhale are going to find each other. A nice snare by Lux down onto aScafe will get him another death, as that red buff from Kah'Zix is going to keep him held there for a little bit too long. A nice ult by Sleeepy onto VVeasel, as well as the slow from Thresh is actually going to accidentally chaos that from the Blitzcrank. Mafiky now in a bad spot. Patchinator getting off a nice hook, giving Ashe another kill. Ashe now 2-0 in the game. Twitch getting his first death in the bottom lane. Couldn't sneaky out of a hook by Patchinator, and that's going to keep him around for the kill. Now 7 kills to 1. Blue team doing a very strong job keeping their lead in the game. About 3k gold in the lead, but the game can always turn with a single hook by Blitzcrank or just a bad team fight on Blue's side. BulimicWhale did get double buff and now has a lot of damage underneath his belt. 2-0, starting to get that snowball effect that I told you about. So, however, Patchinator had been grabbed by Blitzcrank. Fortunately did not do any damage to Blitzcrank, or else he would have been dead with that tower. Blitzcrank not having a whole lot of damage or anything to do after that initial grab. Looks like both people in that bottom lane will back off. The shield from Aletta Ocean protecting from those Foxfire damage charm, or Foxfire, I guess they're just called Foxfires, by Ahri in the mid lane. New recruits doing the best to keep up in farm, but down by about 30 farm. Looks like Kah'Zix is on the sidelines waiting for something. New recruits getting a nice charm onto Aletta Ocean, going ahead and using one ultimate to dash next to her, 2 ultimates to do a little more damage, the 3 ultimate to get away. I think she also used her flash as well, going to move her a lot of distance away from that fight. Doing a good job of keeping out of that. Aletta Ocean in the mid lane just continuing to farm up. Nova in the top lane now. They're actually still about even farm up here. Only a 4 farm difference between the two of them. A little bit of a farming war as neither person has died. Looks like the first tower to go down will be that mid lane tower. However, Patchinator has been grabbed once again by Blitzcrank. The Lux ult is out though. Mafiky tried to use the barrier just to do enough damage to Patchinator. Not worth it to just try to kill the support. I guess he just wanted to make sure he got at least one kill out of that, but Sleepy was there with the damage follow-up, and now aScafe with that snare is going to be getting a lot of damage done to him, taking down to about half health here. 9-0. Don't want to be grabbing the support, you want to grab the champion you can burst down, as Patchinator does now have the sight ward, and so will have a lot of health and be able to evade a lot of burst damage from that Blitzcrank and Twitch, as was seen. Ashe doing a nice job of grabbing that turret in the bottom lane, second turret of the game, grabbed for blue team, as they're now slowly pushing in with that stranglehold. BulimicWhale now 3-0, going to be jumping over onto new recruits. He actually misses the spike shots, and will be leaping out of tower range with very little health in the mid lane. But that means he has escaped, except Blitzcrank may be able to find him. Oh, the view is just a little bit out of there. Okay, so he will be able to walk away from that, while Patchinator and Sleepy are trying to get this dragon down here. Both are pretty low health, as well as Kah'Zix. This could be really bad if anyone on purple team finds them, but they grab the dragon and start to walk away. Twitch did ward over the wall, but wasn't there for any of that fight. So, first dragon of the game going to blue team, just furthering their lead. Gold in the way. Somebody said in the chat, close game. Once again, thank you guys for joining the stream. I do stream a couple times a week and mostly on request, so if you have a game that you want like this for me to shoutcast, let me know and I'd love to do it. Kah'Zix saying fight in the top lane between this xMagt and Nova, still battling out with the farm. Nova once again in the lead by a little bit, about 10 farm, but Kayle can always turn it around with single waves, so there we go, pushing back up into the 90s now. Neither member has died just yet, so they haven't been really crucial in any teamfight. Skill has not used the teleport that she has to be a part of any teamfights. Nice job taunting this the Riven into a fight. She has used her flash to try to get out, and Kah'Zix flash is there. Beautiful job attempting to stun both of them. However, Kayle was not stunned and got off into another auto attack with that range and was able to grab first kill in that top lane on the Riven with the beautiful gank by Kah'Zix. Grabbing off that tower as well, that's going to be the third tower for blue team, who is very strongly in the lead, 11 kills to 1. Purple team scrambling to try to figure out what they can do to be able to counter this blue team's insane pushing. Patchinator now in that bottom lane, going ahead and grabbing VVeasel with that flay, going to be able to keep Blitzcrank there. Blitzcrank attempted to flash, but actually they flashed into the Thresh wall, giving the kill to Thresh. And in the bottom lane, nice another kill onto Twitch. Twitch sticking around, trying to fight it out, waiting for Ahri to come. Ahri will actually dodge that hook by Patchinator, getting off a nice charm onto Sleepy, using that last ultimate dash to be able to get away from the volley by Ashe. Now has a lot of damage, going ahead and starting off with that Infinity Edge 4-0, while Twitch is still struggling to maybe just finish the Blade of the Ruined King. Nova in the top lane now, wanting a piece of xMagt, going ahead and grabbing a nice stun onto, does have the shield, but is slowed by Kayle. Kayle actually has the support of Lux, who came from the mid lane. Riven with those dashes now, just trying to get away from the fight. Does have a ward there, so we'll know if Aletta Ocean tries to push in. BulimicWhale going and using one of his ultimate dashes to turn invisible and jump onto new recruits. There goes the second one, and the damage is there. New recruits not there with all of the damage. Should have just turned and fought it out. In the top lane, Lux was actually able to kill Riven. I wasn't there for that fight, but I guess a good combination of snares and ultimates was going to grab that kill for herself as well. Now 15-1, extremely in the favor of blue team. They might have the game so far, unless something amazing happens. aScafe doing a nice job of leaping over the wall and ulting, but you kind of want to wait until one of the team members actually does damage to you, so the tower is there with that damage as well. aScafe doesn't need the tower though. He's got the damage with that red buff. Kayle's not going anywhere, just gonna punch through. In that mid lane, Sleepy almost taking a tower shot, but Patchinator had the shield there and ready for it. Nice job shielding an ally. New recruits trying to do just a little bit of damage, but they are still there, and they grab themselves another tower now. 4-0. Patchinator actually missing. Oh no, there we go, grabbing the hook. I'm not exactly sure what he had before, but the flay is there as well. And that's going to be yet another kill for Lux. Now 4-0. The BulimicWhale coming in 2v1ing in the bottom lane, so probably a bad idea. Does have his ultimate there. It's going to leap out at the last second. Twitch actually flashed trying to follow. However, Ashe is going to be there with that kill. Now also turning on to Blitzcrank. BulimicWhale coming back with no help, but he doesn't need it, as he can just leap and instantly destroy Blitzcrank with that last little bit, using a nice evolve on those claws to do even more damage when he leaps in. Patchinator in the mid lane, being a good support and giving over the farm to the mid laner there, as his bottom ADC has the support of the Kayle and Kah'Zix, who were down there just a moment ago. Patchinator doing a little bit of circles in the mid lane, waiting for some of those minions to push up or for his team to decide what they want to do. They could go for Baron now. Purple team would have to contest unless they just want to team does not really have any wards down, and that is not in their favor, as aScafe once again is picked out in the jungle. Now trying to run away and get himself out of this. A nice charm by new recruits might keep him alive, but no, the Lux snare went out before he was able to get away, and that means Lux is there to finish him off. Patchinator in the mid lane continuing doing a job, keeping this wave pushed back, letting his teammate pick up that farm. Purple team needs to get some of their wards out to be able to defend, if they're even going to be able to hold any of these towers. Blitzcrank actually going ahead and running off, not interested in fighting this 3-man in the mid lane. Alright, doing what she can to try to defend. There's a nice hook onto Kayle, but Kayle ultimate might be there. She actually goes ahead and uses it, not even worrying about that Thresh shield that was over the wall. Backing off from that. Remember, you can save abilities by grabbing that Thresh shield. A nice ult by Lux with massive amounts of damage will just destroy Ahri once again in the mid lane. Now 0-5 double snare between the Twitch and Riven. Mafiky in a bad spot. Actually, a nice knockup by Blitzcrank on Patchinator, or on Riven, means a kill on the Kah'Zix. However, all of the damage went down between the two of the teams. Thresh tried to get in there and get some of his ultimate slows down, but it was not enough with the Scarner damage. Now Twitch in a bad spot. Sleeepy actually somehow caught sight of him, I guess, just as he came out, and used that flash to jump in and grab that kill. It's got a little too strong, says the team. On Aletta, maybe. Blitzcrank and Ahri are up. Aletta Ocean just kind of throwing out a lot of abilities towards that Ahri, as she does have blue buff and kind of spam a lot of those. There we go, 4 votes to 1. That is game. Very, very strong for blue team, who won it, as I called. I don't believe Twitch ever got a triple kill, and I totally forget who. Actually, I think it was Lux got first blood in the mid lane, not the Riven, because Riven, I don't even think got a kill. It did get 1 kill before the end of the game, right there in that last fight. So that was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Might be able to do one more. Let me double check with my wifey. Would you like dinner now or later? No, it's completely up to you. One more, because that's all they have. Okay. Alright, well, I guess we're going to go ahead and get one more game undone for the night. So we're going to have a rematch between these two teams once again, hopefully, if we can get all the same people. Yep, Flux got the first kill, so I did not predict that right, but hey, that's alright. So, quick MVPs for this before I switch out. MVP for the losing team, purple team first. I'm going to give it to Ahri. No, not Ahri. I'm sorry. New Chris, I didn't mean to. I'm going to give it to Nova, who did a good job of both staying alive in that top lane, especially when a couple of those ganks happen, but also did a good job of just solidly farming. You can see that 120 farm. Even if you don't get kills, farm can still do a good job. As you can see, she died only once in that top lane before her tower was lost, but turned around and still got another kill, the only other kill for her team, except for, I guess, yeah, Scarner got 2 kills as well. And then for blue team, MVP goes out to, I've given it to him before, but I'll give it to him again, Aletta Ocean, for those stellar snares. And, well, yeah, okay, it's a tie between Aletta Ocean and BulimicWhale. BulimicWhale is really strong on that Kah'Zix. Beautiful job being there for a lot of those ganks. 7 kills, 6 assists.